So a big part of what I do here at AMACO is glazing and creating content for you all. And I'm not sure why one of my screens, sorry, Anne, no video. So a big part of what I do here is glazing and creating content that you see, a lot of the layering cups that you see on our website. I've glazed those, so that is how I come to you with the knowledge that I have. And we have a great team here at AMACO for answering my questions as well as yours. So that is a lot of what I do. And sometimes I see things on Pinterest or in our Facebook group and I go, that is a really interesting idea, and run with it. And so this was a combination that I ran across that I really loved. And so I started out, hey Natalie, I started out with, let's see, my, it looks like my Stream Deck doesn't want to do the things. So I always start out with small tests. This was my first test tile. And then I moved up to a standing test tile. And I thought, this is really interesting. So I also did it on a plate to see how it would do on a flat surface as well as a slightly moving surface before I moved up to a cup. Let me show you the close-up. So this cup, sorry, I'm having some issues with seeing what I'm doing at the same time that I'm making the things change. So I am calling this combo Magic Forest. You can see on the bottom, I called it Combo 1. So Magic Forest, let me go back to my overhead. Magic Forest is a combination that I just love. To me, it looks like the mist in an early morning in the forest, and the air is just opalescent. It just shimmers. So I really loved this combination. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I started out with River Birch. So I started with River Birch is one of our Potter's Choice Flux glazes. It's very similar to Honey Flux. It has these wonderful speckles in it of different sizes. So I applied, as you can see, I brush on glaze heavily. I spend a lot of time glazing, and I found that this was my favorite way to get the glaze on there. I go back and forth over the surface, but this is considered one coat. A lot of times new glazers will think of this as being a lot less than a full coat, or multiple coats, because they're going back and forth. But until that coat is dry, I consider it one coat. So I'm applying one coat here, making sure that it's as even as I can get it. Just spreading that glaze on. I love this moon jar for this shape, this glaze combo too. I think it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to show you at the end of this video how this piece came out. So one coat, making sure that it was all dry, and then I apply my second coat. I know we jump there, but I let the glaze dry and apply my second coat of River Birch. The Potter's Choice Flux glazes do come in different colors, so you can adapt this. This combo is going to look really great over any Potter's Choice Flux. I just really like the River Birch for it. It works with any other of the PCF glazes to give this kind of iridescent effect. But just start with those 2 coats, 2 generous coats of Potter's Choice Flux. Or Honey Flux, you could start with that too. So I go back over it, make sure it's even. If there's areas that didn't get enough, got too much, kind of smooth it out. You see how I can sort of do a diagonal brushing for this rounded shape. And then I move on to my next glaze is Arctic Blue, PC21. Now, Arctic Blue is very opaque by itself when you do 3 coats, but I'm just going to do 1 coat of Arctic Blue over the Potter's Choice Flux. Try to keep it nice and even, and go all the way down to the foot. Keep in mind, when you are layering a lot of glazes, you get a lot of glaze on there, it may run, especially certain glazes. So the Arctic Blue is pretty stiff by itself. Potter's Choice Flux can move a little bit, but most of the time you're going to have it not move too much. So all the way down to the foot, all the way up to the top. I know you don't see me glazing the inside in this video, but I did glaze the inside with Honey Flux. Now, for accent, I use PC42 Seaweed. And the Seaweed is a very runny glaze. So I'm only going to use it near the top of the pot so that it has some room to run down. Don't get too close to the bottom or it will push your glaze. And I'm just doing dots. You could also do stripes, could do swirls, try out different things, but I just liked doing the dots so it kind of runs down. On another piece that I will show you, I did do a stripe, and it came out great too. But just give it a lot of space. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and I will answer as we go, as this is live. The glazing is not. The glazing is pre-recorded so that I could fire this piece and have it out to show you exactly how this piece came out after the glaze demo. So all of the Potter's Choice glazes are different. They all have very different effects. So as I was saying, the Arctic Blue is pretty stiff and opaque. Seaweed is not. Seaweed is very runny and rather translucent. Used by itself, it's going to be green, a very, very dark green, and break kind of brownish. But when you use it over other glazes, like a Celadon or a PC Flux, it's going to look really different. And in this case, it goes a lighter green. So I go back. It's basically 2 little dots in every spot. So I go back and do a little second coat on each dot. You will notice that the seaweed is pretty runny even when I'm applying it. If your seaweed is thick, you are going to get very, very drippy results when you're applying it. So let me show you very quickly our result This is the moon jar that I glazed. Let me show you a little bit better on our overhead. Look at that. So you see how the seaweed ran down a little bit, gave us these light green effects. But overall, the piece has this like almost lavender look to it. So I really love the way that it comes out. And you can see that it's a little bit thinner at the bottom, but that works so I don't have to worry about it running. Honey flux on the inside, and it is just as smooth as you could possibly ask for. This is on 11M. It's fired to cone 6. And as I said, I also have another piece where I did a stripe. So this mug has texture on it, so the glaze kind of caught on the texture, and I did a stripe of seaweed across the top, and it kind of pushes the Arctic blue down, but again you get that lavender. I'm going to see if I can put you in the close-up. You can see kind of the lavender effect that we get. It's just really light and airy and kind of magical, which is why I did it this way. Janet asks if I stilted the moon jar, and Janet, no, I did not stilt the moon jar. It was, let me show you the bottom. I did not stilt the moon jar. It was just fired just like this. I did sponge the foot after glazing because I did have glaze on the foot. So I just lightly sponged it off and then put it on the shelf, and there we go. So it did not run off the foot, and I don't generally stilt pieces unless I'm really concerned, or if I have a glaze that needs to have a wrap, like on a tile or something, I might do it then. But you see, nice crisp line, no movement. I'm going to go back to my close-up, and yes, you're welcome, Janet. Yes, I prefer not to stilt things if I can get away with it. It's difficult. We do sometimes use soft brick because we do have a lot of very runny combinations when we do the layering cups. So I use a little piece of soft brick underneath those cups and tubes to catch any glaze and keep it off of the shelf. But for these things like this, so here's the bottom. Not the most beautiful bottom, but you can see we had no glaze running. I did not have to use a brick to sand the bottom off. Really nice. Anne, thank you. And Patty, thank you. I'm glad you like this combination. As I said, it just, to me, it just looked so light and airy that I just fell in love with it. I mean, there are really beautiful, strong color combinations that I love, but I also like things that are kind of delicate looking. And for me, this was kind of a delicate color, and I just wanted to share that with all of you. So, just to recap, thank you, Maria Elena. This is, to do this was a white clay body. I used 2 coats of river birch, followed by 1 coat of Arctic blue, and then dots of seaweed. So you could use a different PCF. So you could use any of the PCF glazes for this combination with 1 coat of Arctic blue over And you could use seaweed or not. That's up to you. This one is a little bit lighter application, so it's a little bit lighter effect, especially near the top. But Anne asks, how do you think that it would look on a darker brown clay? You know, the flux glazes tend to look more blue on a brown clay. I think you'd have to test that out. I haven't tried it yet, but I might try it on our milk chocolate just to see how it comes out, because I really love that. PH Design says, I missed the start. What was the base glaze? 2 coats of Potter's Choice Flux 74 River Birch. Here, I will show you. 2 coats of River Birch PCF 74. There we go. Followed by 1 coat of PC21 Arctic Blue. Oops. Not what I was trying to do. Followed by dots or stripes of PC42 Seaweed. Really fun, very easy, nice, and it didn't run off of the bottom of the pot, but has this beautiful flow over texture, looks fantastic on a smooth surface too, and this is kind of how it came out. I did a lot of seaweed on this, but this is how it came out on a flat surface. The seaweed kind of is fuzzy rather than runny, but I think that it looks nice on any kind of surface. Just so much fun. Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate you joining me on my glaze adventures. I have a lot of fun with you guys, and I have a lot of fun with glazing. So, till next time, I will be coming back in 2 weeks. So I'm going to be shifting our live streams to Thursdays at 11:30 Eastern Time. And I hope that you will join me each time. It'll be every 2 weeks. And I will have new products and new techniques and ways to use glaze that you might not have thought of before. So thank you so much. If you try this out, I would love for you to tag us at hashtag HowIAMACO or AMACO Glazing. And remember, Magic Forest. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Happy glazing.